My name is Olivia Hart, and I'm 25 years old. I live in California now, somewhere warm and loud and full of strangers who don't ask too many questions. I like it that way. I grew up in a small town in Ohio where everybody knew everybody's business, and honestly, that nearly destroyed me. Or maybe it wasn't the town. Maybe it was just my family. I've been in therapy long enough to know the difference, and most days I actually believe it. But some mornings I wake up and the truth of what happened hits me all over again, like stepping barefoot onto a cold kitchen floor. Sudden. Unavoidable. Real. I'm telling this story because I have to. Because for years I stayed quiet, telling myself it wasn't that bad, that every family had its mess, that I was being dramatic. I'm not dramatic. I'm just a woman who finally decided that the truth deserves a voice, even when that voice shakes. So here I am. This is my story. This is what my parents did to my grandmother, the one person on this earth who ever loved me without conditions, and this is how I lived through it. Grandma Rose. Her name was Rose Ellen Hart, and she was the most stubborn, most warm, most impossibly good woman I have ever known. She smelled like lavender and Irish Spring soap. She kept hard candies in a glass dish on her end table and let me eat as many as I wanted. She called me Livy Bird and meant it like a blessing. Grandma Rose had lived in the same house in Millfield, Ohio, since 1971. She'd raised 4 kids there, buried a husband there, and spent 30 years growing tomatoes in the backyard that were, without any argument, the best tomatoes in the county. She was 81 when everything fell apart. Her memory had started slipping, not gone, not even close to gone, but slipping. She'd lose a word mid-sentence or forget she'd already told you a story. Mild stuff, her doctor said. Normal aging, he said. She didn't need a nursing home. She needed company, a little help around the house, maybe a meal delivery service. She was still Rose. She was still there. But my parents had already made up their minds long before any doctor weighed in. The house. Grandma's house was worth something. That's the part one didn't understand when I was a teenager watching my parents whisper in the kitchen. I didn't understand that a 3-bedroom ranch house in a small Ohio town, paid off free and clear since 1998, sitting on a half-acre of land, was the kind of thing adults could get real quiet and dangerous about. My dad's name is Dennis Hart. My mom's name is Carol. They were not bad people in every single way, I need to say that because I believe in complexity, but they were people who let money make decisions that their hearts should have made. Dad had been out of steady work since the plant closed in 2014. Mom was a part-time bookkeeper. They were drowning in debt, credit cards, a second mortgage, a truck payment. And there sat Grandma Rose's house, right there, like an answer to a question they had no business asking. I was 17 the first time I overheard them talk about what to do with Rose. I stood in the hallway outside the kitchen, and something cold settled into my chest that has never fully left. The plan they made without her. Nobody asked Grandma Rose what she wanted. That's the thing that still makes me clench my jaw when I lie awake at night. She was 81 years old with mild memory problems, not a child, not incompetent, not incapable of having a conversation about her own future, but my parents never had that conversation with her. Instead, they had it with a realtor, a lawyer, and an admissions coordinator at Sunridge Memory Care, a nice way of saying a locked facility 40 minutes outside Columbus. They told Grandma she was going for a short stay. Just to rest, they said. Just to get some extra help. They packed a single suitcase for her, one suitcase, for a woman who had filled a house for 50 years, and drove her there on a Tuesday morning in March. My dad held her elbow as they walked to the door. She looked confused but trusting. She had no reason not to trust her own son. 2 weeks later, my parents listed her house for sale. They used the proceeds to clear their debts. Grandma Rose never went home again.